Welcome to Vital100 Wellness with Dr. Bob, the podcast designed to take your health to the next level.
Hello again, this is Dr. Bob Johnson. I am going to talk about supplementation in this podcast. This is a very important issue because one of the most critical things in overall health is our nutrition. Now, for years and years, many health practitioners and researchers said you just need to get the vitamins, minerals, nutrients from the food that you eat. Well, this is a huge fallacy because of many factors. First of all, many people do not eat the right things. They are very unknowledgeable about what needs to be eaten. They are very short on good nutrients like vegetables, fruits, grains, that kind of thing. And so they don't eat a good diet. The next reason why our diet and nutrition is not adequate is because as we age, we lose the ability to digest and absorb nutrients. Also, the gut has, it tends to leak. We call it leaky gut. And so you tend to absorb what you eat undigested. And so you're getting not only allergic reactions to undigested foods, nutritions, but you are not getting the right nutrition into the bloodstream. So the other reason is that when we eat, not only do we eat the wrong things, we don't digest, we don't absorb, but that our nutrients, our foods, are very deficient in vitamins, minerals, unlike maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago. Their crops are depleted, so we're not getting the right nutrients. We have so many processed foods that have additives like lots of sugar in them. And so overall, we're not getting the right nutrition if we're solely depending on eating the right foods. So what was said for years and years and years about just need to get the right foods, eat the right foods, and you don't need supplementation is an absolute fallacy at this point. So the content of this podcast is to go over supplementation and how we get it in. Now, first of all, I'm going to say that all supplements are not the same. All vitamin C's or vitamin D's or certain probiotics, that kind of thing, are not the same. Very important to go with good health practitioner recommendations, good product lines, and many of them are not good at all or very deficient in what they're saying. And so product lines that not only incorporate the right nutrients, but in the right forms, with the right fabrication techniques, with the right energy that it's fabricated with, are very important to get the right nutrients in the supplementation that we're taking. Now, what I want to go over is the certain supplements that are needed to complement the things that are most people deficient in. And the other thing is the form of the supplementation is absolutely critical. So it's important to get more of the natural products, the fruits, the vegetables, more of which should be organic to avoid taking in the toxins that are sprayed on these fruits, vegetables. The rule of thumb that I tell people with is do almost all your shopping from around the periphery of the grocery stores. That's where the more natural things are that don't have product labels with all kinds of additives put in. The aisles in the middle of the store generally are ones that can't contain the processed foods, the foods that have additives to them that are not healthy, but may fill you up or may taste good. So it's important to get the right, not only vitamins and minerals, but get the right fats, get the right carbohydrates. The protein is absolutely critical. So these are all important to be able to consume a good, healthy diet. When I talk to my patients, I always ask them about their diet and how they consume their diet and what they do as far as taking in and getting in the right nutrients. Now, apart from the right nutrient intake, as I've told you, we're not getting the complete nutrient values from the foods we're eating, you truly need to supplement. Again, the supplements must be high quality supplements. The ones that you get in Costco or vitamin superstores or whatever generally are not the ones that are the highest quality. Most of the high quality distributors are only through health practitioners. They do not make them available to the average person. So it's important to understand that where you're getting your nutrients. Now, what's important? First of all, is you want to get your complete vitamins. That's the A, all the B's, the C's, the D's. D is very important. In fact, it's so important that they're considering it a hormone rather than a vitamin. You want to get vitamin E. You want to get the minerals, including magnesium, calcium, phosphorus. You want to get the complete mineral content into your system, because this is what the body builds new structures in the body. You want to get good fiber so that you are not only feeding your good bacteria, which are absolutely critical, I'll mention that in just 1 minute, is that you want to be able to feed and grow that good bacteria in your gut. You want to be able to have the things that your body is losing as you age. Nitric oxide, you want to get in all the nutrients that you're going to really truly need as your body ages. One thing that the body loses as it ages is the digestive enzymes and the hydrochloric acid with that, because we start not being able to digest. And when you aren't able to digest, you aren't absorbing the right nutrients. You aren't maybe absorbing any of the nutrients. And one other way to determine that, if you're not having adequate hydrochloric acid and pancreatic enzymes for digestion, is that you get acid reflux. Acid reflux, it's also called heartburn or GERD, G-E-R-D, meaning that you're feeling the acid which is being regurgitated from the stomach. Now, unfortunately, our advertising says to neutralize that acid. In fact, you want more acid to complete the digestion, keep those nutrients in the stomach and the intestines, rather than regurgitating them back up the esophagus into the oral cavity. So very important along those lines. There are other things as we age, we lose our ability to get the right proteins in. Proteins, you may know, are composed of amino acids. You want all the amino acids. You want to be able to be regular so that you're not constipated. If you're constipated, the stool, which is not being excreted, is releasing those toxins back into the body. So you want to not only help the kidneys excrete, you want the liver and the gallbladder to be healthy, to be involved in that whole digestive process. So the expression is that health begins in the gut. And so if you're not digesting, if you don't have a good microbiome, in fact, vegetables are a wide variety, are good ways to get good microbiome, but also you can take probiotics. A good, healthy population of bacteria and other microbes is absolutely critical for overall health, for immunity, for digestion, for keeping unhealthy pathologic organisms at bay. A good, healthy microbiome is very important. You can also get it through fermented foods. I personally take a spoonful of sauerkraut every day to be able to get the fermented vegetables, which have high levels of micronutrients and also good microbiome replenisher. So all those are very important to get in. Now, I am asked this all the time. What form of the supplementation is critical to take? And there's varying levels of ways to consume nutrients. The one way is to take pills, whether they're medications or whether they're supplements that you take. Pills are relatively undigestible. So you need to chew them, you need to combine with the saliva, but also pills are going to get into the stomach, and what reduces their nutrient levels or their effectiveness is the stomach acids. And so relatively speaking, pills, medications that are in the form of pills are the least absorbable, least usable forms of supplementation. The next one are capsules. Capsules are in a gelatin coating, and inside are the powders usually. And so you can take those. The stomach acids will digest them, releasing the powders, which are the next a little bit more effective than the pills that you take. So that's a form you can take. Now, another form, or the next most effective form to absorb nutrients, are liquids. Liquids are more easily absorbed. They're not as damaged by the digestive enzymes as the pills and the capsules, but liquids are important. One of the things you can do with liquids to increase their efficacy is to drop them in or put drops under your tongue. Under your tongue has loads of huge blood vessels to be able to absorb those liquids. And in fact, the next most absorbable thing are homeopathics. Homeopathics are more energetic. And if you put them under your tongue and you let them sit there along with liquids, that kind of thing, is you're going to get a better absorption than if you swallow the pills or the capsules. So very important to consider putting things under your tongue. One of the things that people, or ideas that people know, is that when a person is having angina or heart attacks or heart failure or pain in the heart, is to put a nitroglycerin under the tongue. The nitroglycerin is going to cause blood vessels to expand and be able to get better blood flow to the heart vessel, to the heart muscles where you're having pain because of the constriction of the blood vessels. So put things under your tongue that are liquids and are going to absorb, as well as homeopathics. Homeopathics, just for those of you who don't know and are not aware, homeopathics are very diluted forms of whatever's in them to be able to direct the body how to perform health things. So for example, if you're taking a homeopathic to fight an infection, what is going to happen is the homeopathic is going to train the immune system to be able to go after that infection. So homeopathics are also very good to put under the tongue, and they're going to be very effective, despite what traditional healthcare thinks or explains about homeopathics. The next thing is to have liquids that are liposomal. Liposomal means lipo is fats, and what's happened is they're formed with a fat, so the liquid supplement, which is liposomal, is going to be quickly absorbed in the mucosa in the mouth, in the tongue, in the throat, before it gets down to the stomach. So liposomal forms of supplementation are very, very effective because they're not negatively impacted by acids, by digestive enzymes, and hostile environments in the gastrointestinal system. They're absorbed all the way through the mouth, right down the esophagus before it gets in. Now, the next most effective form of supplementation is that of intravenous. Intravenous vitamins and minerals, I get this on about a monthly basis myself, because what the intravenous is, you put it right into the bloodstream. So you're totally bypassing the gastrointestinal system, which will decrease the efficacy and the amount that gets into the blood. So you're getting these supplements right to the bloodstream, and the blood picks them up and carries them to where they're needed to. So vitamins, minerals, homeopathics you put into an intravenous infusion are going to be highly effective and picked up by the bloodstream immediately and taken very quickly within minutes to wherever it needs to go. And you don't need to have them compromised by the gastrointestinal system, which the lining may be compromised. So very important. And the vitamins, minerals, homeopathics, and other nutrients you put into IVs are very high quality, usable forms of vitamins and minerals, so that the tissues and organs where they're being received are going to be able to use them quickly. So who uses intravenous? I would say a person who's ill, a person who's suffering from all kinds of diseases and illness, athletes who need to get very high levels of nutrients into their bloodstream are very important. People recovering from certain illnesses should get IVs. If you want to get certain nutrients to areas that are suffering from degeneration, IVs are very important to get these nutrients there. So as you can see, not only is your diet what you eat, how you digest, make sure you're taking digestive enzymes as you get older. I would say older than 35, 40. I personally take them whenever I eat. You need to supplement with certain forms of the supplementation, which are going to be highly effective at getting to the bloodstream. Remember, it isn't just what you eat. It isn't how well you digest. It's how well you absorb and transport the nutrients to the entire body. So I hope this helps you understand the importance of nutrition and the various forms that nutrition can take. Forget the whole idea that you're going to get the right nutrition in solely with what you eat, because supplementation is going to be just excreted. That is an absolutely false idea. And really nobody, no matter how good their diet is going to get the complete nutrition to the rest of their body. I hope this helps. And associated with this podcast, you're going to see ways to contact me with messages, or to sign up for a consult. So please feel free to contact us and contact me, and I will get back to you, because there is really nothing more important than your health. And there's so many misconceptions out there about health that you really need someone who not only is going to give you the right information, but lives that myself. So very important to be able to understand nutrition and to live a very healthy life. Always remember to enjoy the journey.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Vital 100 Wellness with Dr. Bob. Be sure to visit our website at Vital100Wellness.com for more ways to listen and to explore additional health resources. If you have any questions for Dr. Bob or feedback and suggestions for the podcast, you can email us at info@Vital100Wellness.com.